Okay. This is the Four Mothers continuing. As you might expect, time is of a virtue. It always is throughout the history of time. Now, what I've gained from Misu, Bubble Butt, Get It, and V-Span. V-Span. Now, of course, it evolves. Misu would be Exquisar. Get It will be Debuck. And Bubble Butt would be T-Foul, if you remember correctly. Now, that could be like Alice in Wonderland, really. If you ever catch that, we know it. Or Alice in Wonderland. Very popular cartoon for children and for adults. Now, and for adults, yeah. What you have to realize, Bugs Bunny is for children and adults too. A lot of Looney Tunes are for children and adults. Now, getting back to a better situation. Yeah, I have to understand the power. My show is strictly for adults. Now, you have to understand this. You have to understand the complexity of being in our situation, perhaps. Now, I'm known amongst people. They might not know me. And the three other mothers might not know me. I should have been more powerful, but that was a long story ago about power. Power is not generative to fame. Power is generative to a lot more than that. Now let's go talk to another complex situation. I'll talk about one. It looks like the Four Mothers and Jesus figured it out. Jesus more than fucked, as you know, in the world a long time ago, as far as modern man knows. Meaning after the time of BC, after the time of Christ, we're in AD. To know information that far long ago is improbable. Now, V-Span rates the rate of what chicks need, how far they can get with it, etc. Exquisar measures where they can go. Debuck gets them out of trouble. And T-Foul says how to cook up a few things for men. How to cook and clean, you know what I mean? So then, what you gotta realize is things don't get easier in time. What happens, though, is everything gets more complex. What I mean by that is not for the sake that we might be completely fine. But I'm talking about a science fiction, too. We might be unknowns in the vast majority of the world. And, like, no one knows, like, a lot of bands that are American around the world. Not even domestically. So what I think, this is an American show. What I think, though, is you have to understand possibilities. It goes to complex philosophy, really, because that's my strong point. I know I didn't take philosophy, but I did study art and go to school, a very good school. What you have to realize about V-Span is how far they can span. Now, in complex situations, fear gets in the way of a lot of stuff. Fear is of the utmost importance. Why I'm even doing this show is results of fear. Now, Lucy, of course, cares about nothing. Is usually always fine. No one can really understand a massive spatial reptile, meaning in space, universe. There are probably many existences in space. Science has found none. That's alarming. Yes, we've gone to Mars. Yes, we've gone probably to Io. Probably made it to Io. With modern technology, barely. With the technology of sci-fi easily can travel any planet, and it can make things up. Now, let me tell you an example of science fiction. Why that's an interesting topic. My show is science fiction. I'll tell you science fiction. How does a guy become a dust particle from an extent beyond any magnitude in human language? Well, that's sci-fi. Now, a great physicist said, Brian Greene, that they, in my opinion, and artistically, I've read his books, and he didn't say it in here in a lecture. I've read Brian Greene's books, the physicists from the 90s and further on. Still relevant now if you're in the science community. I'm sure you, in physics, you know Brian Greene in America, probably worldwide, because you just should. The other thing is this. Improbability improbability means not really generally possible. Now, it's interesting because a lot of my show is bullshit. What I think, really coming from my perspective, is almost bullshit, never completely rolling, is the answer. So I've come with the answer to my question through people that help me with YouTube, through fans, minimal or great, through a lot of stuff. A lot of my experience on Earth this time, and like I said, prior incarnations, perhaps, on planets. You might just end up on a planet too. Yeah, you should think really wise men up in heaven. You can take you to planets in Catholic heaven. I believe you just stay in heaven for a while. And they just want you to relax. Heaven's nice. So what I think you should realize, really, or I should realize, really, is something very intrinsic to what I said about the physics answers. I think scientifically a lot. Now, science fiction has nothing to do with science. It's fiction. It's to do with like aliens and impossible things that are fantastic. I'm just fast. I like sci-fi. Is why my show is like sci-fi. Now, there could be nothing in space. It's even scarier. It's warmer to believe that there's really intelligent, massive giants in space. It's warmer. It makes you think she could protect this stuff, and if she gives a shit, and she might. Because the Earth's a pretty big giant. So, maybe. These are maybes, but what improbability means, if science hasn't found it for humans, then the improbability gets stronger, and then we go into a different realm. Now, right, Brian Greene's nonfiction, which you know what nonfiction is. It means factual, of or relating to the facts of that particular science in that context. Now look, if you understand what V-Span would know, he would know why chicks need. Well, if you're the center point of everything on Earth, as women are, can imagine they need a lot because they're the targets. Okay. Now, when they're the targets, and love interests, you know what I mean by like the whole love romantic stuff, it gets to be a pretty wild story. Women don't like. I said women don't care about anybody, not even women. Now, if they're the targets, then the four of us people complain about being the biggest targets. Well, okay, that's a little funny too. Let me tell you a little something about complexity, though. If anything substantial in reality, since we are in reality, it looks like just be a peaceful person and deal with it day by day. Like there's a book called Coming Forth by Day. It's called The Book of the Dead. coming forth by day is a little bit about the Book of the Dead. Every day is too much to handle. A millisecond of time in the universe, a millisecond is more than enough time to handle things. Thank you.